What's up, traders? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is Phase 3. Today, we're going to be going over inside days. One very powerful signal from the Stacey Burke method that I feel like would help a lot of traders. It is very powerful, and I'm excited to explain this to you guys so you can get more clarity and less confusion. All right. So before I get into this video, I just want to let you guys know that if you want to see the process live, this is exactly what I do inside my Discord. I go live, I call my trades in real time, and every live session is recorded so you can go back and study it. And you'll get full entry breakdowns, high probability signals, and constant feedback, and access to my library vault, which, like I said, is honestly all you need to study and build consistency. There's nothing hidden. There's no gatekeeping. This is a real community where traders are actually growing and gaining clarity. And if you're a beginner and you want direct guidance, I also offer one-on-one sessions to help you understand the market step by step. And I actually just dropped the prices to 50 an hour. So if I were you, I would go ahead and get that one-on-one session so you guys can get more clarity on what you're doing, all right, and build a process. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these charts. All right, guys, now for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on trend trades coming from an inside day. All right, and then I'm going to make another video on reversals coming from an inside day. The reason why I structure it like this is because sometimes, well, at least I know for me, I notice that a lot of people cram information into one video. And if you're a trader trying to be disciplined, and only stick to one signal and one setup, then you want to look at information that's just about that one signal and one setup so you can always have a video to reference to and you're not scrolling through videos, right? So that's why I set it up like that. So the next video will be on reversals coming from an inside day. Now, what is an inside day, right? So we basically have a day where it closes inside the previous day's range. So if this is the previous day, the next day you'll see that the high and low of that day has closed inside the high and low of the previous day. All right. So that is an inside day. So what are we looking for the next day? Well, we are looking for, if you're looking for a trend trade, you're looking for a breach, right, of the previous day's high, and then a dump, coil, and pump. All right. So once you get the breach of that previous day's high, that is considered a higher high. And higher highs equal dump, coil, and pump. All right. Higher highs equal dump and pump. So this would be an example of a trend trade, right? So that's what a buy setup looks like. All right. And I'm just going to show you guys what a reversal setup looks like. So say it may breach the previous day's high and pull back. And about time you're at New York session, it's at the high, right? And then it just starts coiling. That's what you're looking for. And then the reversal. So that's what a reversal looks like. But like I said, for the sake of this video, we're just going to focus on trend trades. So just to summarize it up, you're looking for a breach of the previous day's high. When you're at a level, you're looking at timings, levels, and behavior of price. What is it doing? All right. So higher high equals dump, coil, and pump. And it may happen at the previous day high, or sometimes it may happen at the closing price. But that is essentially what you guys are looking for. It's just the three things that markets do, right? So if you're looking for trend trades, all right, higher high, dump, coil, pump. This is just a basic structure of a trend, right? But if you're looking for the reversal, it would do this: breakout, pullback, fail, reverse. All right. So that's what that does. That's what you're looking for if you're looking for the trend trade and a buy setup. So let's look at a sell. Let's look at a sell setup. All right. So same thing. An inside day is a day that closes inside the previous day's range, right? So if we know this, what are we looking for in a trend trade for a sell? Well, we want to see the previous day's low breached. Lower low equals pump, coil, and dump. All right. So that's what I usually look for. And I have to be at a level. All right. And it's either going to be the previous day's low or it's going to be closing price, right? So that's usually what I look for, guys. Just a trend trade, right? So it's literally just breakout, pull back, trend. And the coil needs to be at a level, okay? So that's what a sell setup looks like. Now that you know what a buy setup looks like for an inside day and a sell setup looks like for an inside day, if we're talking about trend trades, let's take a look at some charts. All right, so we're on gold and we actually have an inside day on Thursday, right? So we have a day that closes inside the previous day's range, okay? So these lines here are basically the range of the previous day. So when we're looking the next day, right? When we're looking the next day, this is the range of the inside day, okay? So just future reference, right? So we have our inside day on Thursday, okay? So the next day, what are we looking for? Well, as you can see, we get a signal on the day. It has breached the previous day's high, which is the high of the inside day. So once it breaches the high, we're watching, right? So as you can see, if we're trading this in New York session, right, which is the yellow box, then we're waiting for price to dump and coil at a level, all right? So it made a high in Asia. Then it made a low in London. And where is this? This is at the closing price level. So we're on the 1 hour chart. So usually when I'm on my 1 hour chart, I'm looking for the previous day's high to be breached. All right. So we have been breached. The high has been breached. And then it pumps up, coils, and it dumps, all right, in London. So now it's coiling at the previous day's high and it's coiling at the closing price. It's at both levels. So then I'm scrolling down to my 15-minute time frame. All right. And this is what this looks like on the 15-minute, right? So, like I said, Thursday was an inside day. It's a day that closes inside the previous day's range. So, what are we looking for on the 15-minute? Well, if we're trading the New York time frame, then we're trying to look for a coil, which we do get right here. All right, that's the coil. So we have the dump that happened in London, right? Remember, I told you if we're looking for trend trades, we need a breakout pullback trend. All right. So once you get the signal, which is the breach of the previous day's high, this is what you're looking for if you're looking for a buy setup. Now, you need to be looking for this. You are hunting this setup. You're not coming to the chart saying, oh my gosh, it's breached the previous day's high. What is it going to do? I don't know if it's going to reverse or it's going to trend. That is the wrong way to think about this. You need to trade your setups. So if my setups is buy setups, then this is something I'm interested in, right? Because it has breached the previous day's high, okay? So it's dumped down in London and it's coiling. It's coiling. This is happening before New York is even open, all right? So it should be obvious and it should only go in one direction. If it's coiling, it's only going to go in one direction, right? So that's an important thing to think about when you're entering these trades. You need to have a setup and a signal. And if an inside day is your signal and buy setups is your setup, this is easy, right? Because you already have your criteria. You got the breach of the previous day's high. You got the dump during London. So you got the breakout. You got the pullback. It's now coiling at a level. It's only going to go in one direction. Okay. So that's how you want to think about it. Now, when I come to the 15-minute, I'm looking for the coil. We have the coil. Now let's go to the 5-minute so we can see entry. Okay. So here, this is the 5-minute chart. And let's say we're looking at the start of the New York session for gold, which is 8 a.m. All right. We see that we have higher highs on the inside of the dump. Okay. We are at a level. We're at a level. We got the dump. We got the coil. New York is opening up. This trade can only go in one direction. Okay. So now we have the breakout, the pullback, the coil, and it's pumping now. So once you get higher highs in the inside, and you get that dump back down to a level, and it gives you a bullish engulfing candle up, you are safe to enter. I would enter here because As you can see, this dotted line is 9 a.m. So I usually look for trades at or after 9 a.m. Enter here, and then it just goes. And that's literally what you're looking for, guys. When you're looking for entry, if you're taking inside day signals, this is what you need to be looking for. It is very mechanical, very simple. Try not to make this too hard, okay? All right. So now we're going to look at another example. All right, guys, so here's SPX 500, and we actually get an inside day on Tuesday, right? So what is an inside day again? An inside day is a day that closes inside the previous day's range, okay? So if this is the inside day, this is the previous day's range, and as you can see, it is inside the previous day's range. So that is what we look for an inside day. Now that we have the inside day, what do we look for the next day? Well, this is an example of a sell setup. All right. This is an example of a sell setup. So as you can see, we have a breach of the previous day's level, which is the level from the inside day. Okay. So we're working off of inside day levels. So the next day you're looking for the breach. The breach is the previous day's low. All right. So when I come to the 1 hour chart, I'm looking for a breach. We get our breach here. Okay. So let's scroll down to the 15-minute time frame. So this is the 15-minute time frame, right? We got our inside day here. All right, we got our breach here. Asia breached it, right? So what happens after Asia breaches it? We get a lower low in London, okay? This is just this. This is just a simple downtrend. Remember, this is trend trades for inside days, okay? So if you're sell biased, this is your trade, right? Because this is a pump and dump setup. So after you get a lower low, remember I told you lower lows equal dump and pump, okay? So that's what that equals. So once you get that lower low, it's now pumping. It's now pumping, okay? So let's go down to our 5-minute time frame. This is the 5-minute, and on the 5-minute, I'm looking for entry, right? So after we get that lower low in London, it now pumps up, right? It pumps up, and it pumps up where? At closing price. So we have the breakout, we have the pullback at closing price. What are we looking for? We're looking for a coil. This is a coil. A coil, candles need to be side by side. This isn't a coil. Candles need to be side by side, okay? So that's what we're looking for the coil. After we get the coil, what does it do? We are now on the backside. It dumps, okay? This is a common pattern for a pump and dump, okay? So you get the lower low, right, for London. You get the pump. It's coiling now. Enter at a level. You can enter at closing price or you can enter at the previous day's low. But this is obvious, guys. This is just obvious. Once you get the pump and the coil, it's only going to go in one direction. So once it goes, enter. You're already inside the EMA. If you're more comfortable inside the EMA, that's fine. But as long as you're entering at levels, that's all that matters. All right. So this is an example of a inside day for a sell setup. All right. The pump and dump. Now I'm going to show you another example. All right, guys, so we're on silver and we actually get an inside day on Friday, right? So, as I said, an inside day is a day that closes inside the previous day's range. Okay, so this is the inside day's range and this is the previous day's range. And as you can see, the inside day, which is here, is inside of this range. Okay, so that's what we look for, right? So what does it have? What does it do on the day? So as you can see, I'm on my hour chart. We get a breach of the previous day's high. Okay, that's what I look for on the 1 hour, right? So breach of the previous day high, higher high equals dump, coil, and pump. Okay. So that's very important that you guys understand that. When you get a breach of a previous day's high, that equals a higher high. Okay. When you get a breach of a previous day's low, that is a lower low. Okay. So just be mindful of that. Now, after I get my breach of the previous day's high, I'm going down to my 15-minute time frame. Okay, 15-minute time frame. I am a New York trader. All right, so I'm looking for this trade, New York session. Now, as I drop down to my 15-minute time frame, I believe, yep, this is the 15-minute time frame, we actually get a reversal trade and we get a trend trade. The reversal trade happened in London. All right. So remember what I told you, the reversal trade breaks out, pulls back, fail, and reverse. Okay. So if we got our signal on the day, if we're a London trader, this is perfect. We get the breakout, the pull back, right? Fail here. As you can see, that's the coil, and then we get the dump for London. All right, so I just wanted to point that out just in case you guys were wondering if that was a reversal trade that you can take. Yes, you can take that, but make sure you take it at the level. Okay, that's a nail and bail. Why? Because this market is moving up. So that is a nail and bail. Okay. So, like I said, I trade the New York session. So I got my breach of the previous day's high. What am I looking for on the 15-minute? Guys, this is super mechanical and easy. I got my higher high equals dump and pump. All right. So as you can see, after London made that high, we get the dump. We get the coil at the previous day's high, which is the inside day high. Okay. So if we're looking for trend trades, breakout, pull back, trend. That's all this is. That's all it is. Keep it super simple, guys. So we get the dump, we get the coil at the previous day high. It can only go in one direction. All right. You also, let me show you this because I don't want you guys to forget to look for this. Higher highs in the inside. Okay. So we get the break, the breach, right? Higher high, dump, coil. Let's go to the 15-minute. The 5-minute for entry. Okay. So, like I said, it's super easy to spot these once you get the hang of them. Dump, coil at the previous day's low. All right. And pump, higher highs on the inside. Higher highs on the inside. Okay. So, this market opens, let's see, this is a metal. So we're looking for this at 9, right? We're looking for it at 9. 9 o'clock is this purple dotted line right here. So after 9, guys, I'm already on the backside of this move. I've already got my higher highs on the inside. All right. I'm taking this pin hammer. I'm taking that pin hammer right there. All right. So you're entering off of pin hammers and engulfing candles. Okay. So once I get that pin hammer, I'm setting my stop right there and I'm letting it ride. This trade can only go in one direction. That's how easy this is, guys. Keep it mechanical and simple so that you can easily repeat this because it happens every single time. Markets only do three things: breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, pullback, fail, reverse, or just range. Okay. So that's what you're looking for. That is basically all I have. That is the inside day for trend trades. Okay. So if you take buy setups, take only buy setups. If you take sell setups, take only sell setups, but trade according to what price is doing. Remember these three things: timings, levels, and behavior of price. Timings, levels, and behavior of price. Okay. You should not be trading outside of your session. That is a no-no. You want to trade inside of your sessions, okay? That's the best practice for you. If you're not following these rules to a T, then you're not creating good habits for yourselves and it's giving you more room to make mistakes. Keep it mechanical, guys, okay? So I hope this video gave you more clarity on what you're looking for as far as inside days. When it comes to trend trades, like I said, my next video will be on reversal setups for the inside day, all right? I appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing me so much love. I really appreciate it. I'm growing so fast, and it's because of the love that you guys show me. And I will continue to keep producing this content so that it can give you more clarity and more clarity. And to a point where you can just become successful at it, right? Because we don't just trade. We want to trade so that we can become successful and venture off to different businesses, right? So, like I said, if you guys need extra help when recognizing these patterns or any signals in general, You can join my Discord. I have VIP access for serious traders that are trying to take their trading to the next level. I also have one-on-one sessions if you are a beginner and just need to know about the signals and have a problem choosing which setup that you want to take. I explain everything. All right. So go ahead and use those services if need be. But this is the end of this video. I'm Q. This is Phase 3 Trading. And until the next one.